Hey lifers, welcome back to the channel, and we are going to be tackling that front inner axle shaft that we talked about on the last video. And let's start diving into it. So first step that we are going to be doing is taking off this front Maxxis Trep 40, which that's what got me into this problem. So basically what happened is I was out on the Mammoth Trail backing up, and three sides of that tire stuck to the ground. And what is the weakest link that was in my axle or drivetrain at that point was that front axle shaft. So let's dive right into it. Let's go. Here we go right now. First, we're going to be taking off the 5 lug nuts that hold this tire on. So, got my impact and get the tire light. Next step is going to be removing this outer cap, which is the drive slug cap or the axle spindle cap. So that's 4 Allen keys. There's a couple different versions out there. So there's Allen key, there is, I saw some Phillips head, some have 3, some have 2. So get that off, and then we're going to work on getting the brake caliper off after that. So we're going to be taking off this Allen, if I had the right size. Well, let's try to see if I got the correct size on the brake caliper next. That is too small. So I struck out on all of them. Let me go get the other ones. So I actually went and got my Allen set, and let's see which one's correct. There we go. These aren't in there that tight. They're just holding the cap on. Usually there's a little RTV that goes around here as well. So that cap will probably be stuck on there a little bit. I know I recently had this cap off, so I didn't put RTV back on it, but next time I will. Oh, I am happy to see that that is very lubed up in there, and that looks like a good drive slug right there. So put that off to the side. Next, we're going to be taking off that brake caliper. So let's check the next one right here. Oh, that is it. Bottom bolt, top bolt. Now I think we are ready to pull this brake out right off. It does, yay! I always like when they come off nice and easy like that. So we are going to place this over here, out of the way. Luckily enough, I have long enough brake lines that it just reaches the floor. Just like so. So as we have the free hub, we can definitely hear that there are some things wrong with it. So next we're going to be pulling everything out of this spindle section here, and we're going to be able to pull the spindle off, so hang out for that. So next we have to take off the outer snap ring, which is covered in grease right now, but I'm going to try to find the end of it and pull it right off. After we got that off, I'm going to be pulling the outer snap ring, which is right here. That holds in the drive slug cap. So I'm ready to pop this one up. Okay, now we got that one started. That one's coming out. Now we are able to pull the drive slug retainer ring out of this, and it is covered in grease. So I'm gonna grab a paper towel real quick. I'll grab right and be right back with you guys. So next we're going to be pulling out the drive slug, which is usually kind of a little tricky to get it out sometimes. Let's see if we can finagle this out just right. Usually a pick helps pretty well, or something of that nature. So let me grab that real quick. So a pick normally helps to pull this out, just like so. And it is out. And we're free. So, drive slug out. Next is all the inner workings of this axle shaft, which is 2 axle flange nuts with a inner locking pin style cap. This takes a 2 3/4 inch spindle socket, or also you can use a screwdriver to basically twist this. I'm still waiting on my spindle axle nut or socket to arrive. So currently I'm just going to take it off by lightly tapping it out of the way. And it is free like that. These are usually in there pretty light. It only requires 70 foot-pounds. So. All right, that's the first part. Next part is it's the retainer. So that's what it looks like right there. Has a whole bunch of holes in it. Each of the holes lines up with a little pin on the next piece or the next spindle nut that will be coming out. So that one is free. Keep on spinning. Get that one out. Alright, next one out. After that one is out, you are able to pull the full spindle off. So that's what I am going to do next. Be careful as you do this. The front bearing can fall off in this process. So just going to give it a little bit of a tug. Pull it out as straight as possible. And that bearing did fall, and we're gonna set it down right here. Now, we got the spindle exposed. We are able to remove the spindle and access that axle shaft, which is quite loose in there. So, let me get the correct drive socket, and I will be right with you guys. Alright guys, so the next step is we're going to remove each one of these spindle bolts real quick. So with all the spindle bolts removed, we are able to pull the spindle off of this section. First, I'm going to pop the brake caliper bracket, which is bolted to the spindle side. It's a little bit of a bear to get off. Once we got that off, set that to the side. Next we have the spindle, which usually is not the easiest to come off. So we're going to give it a little bit of tap on the side here, and hopefully she'll come free. This is the tricky part. So after I break this loose, catch up with you in a few. Alright guys, so now I have this broken free loose. It should slide off. Probably gonna be a little bit rare to get. Alright, so first I'm gonna push these axle through, keeping it in the actual axle housing, and pull this spindle hopefully out the rest of the way first, which is very greasy. Probably gonna need all new bearings in this, which yes it does. All right, now we have the spindle off. We can pull this axle shaft out and see what kind of damage I did in here. All right, moment of truth. We know the looks like the Zerk fittings that are on the axle are not wanting to come through the housing at this point. Let me get a little persuasion from my side. Let's see if I can get it out. Alright, let's see if I can persuade the other. Push this in, take the Zerk fittings off, and continue with this process. If I can even get them off. I don't know. Let's see if I can reach it with a... Nope. Alright, so... Let's see if I can just pull it straight. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and a good old pulley-o. Oh, well, I think that might have been our issue. Well, I twisted them on both sides. And this is what I get. Now, let's see if I can fish out the other piece of this axle shaft. That's really twisted. I'll have some photos up online shortly. That's just funny. That's really twisted. I hope I didn't break other things. I see the axle shaft in there. It's in there. Now, let's see what I can use to get out of it. All right, guys, I've seen this trick happen before. Let's try it. It is a magnet. And are we going to be able to? Oh yeah, baby. Oh shit. Well, I pulled it out somewhat, and then I think it got caught on the seal in there, which is not a good thing. So, I'm not sure how we're gonna get this sucker out of here now. Oh, flip sideways, even better. Oh, I think I got it. Yes, I did. Oh, wow. There is not much engaging in that axle. So, here we go. That's it. I think this whole past weekend was part of that. Just snapping off axle shafts. Break it, Bill. You've seen it here. Well, this is going to conclude this video. We're going to have to measure up this axle shaft, adding this piece back to it, and then we're going to be able to put it all back together and catch it up in the next video. So stay tuned for the next one. We are going to be putting all of this Dana 60 back together with new parts, new axle shafts, new outer, new inner, new U-joints. And so make sure you hit that like and subscribe. See you on the next one.